Hello, welcome everybody. I got a PS5 that was struck by lightning, and it's completely dead. Like nothing at all. No beeps, no nothing. So let's go ahead and go above cam. I've already disassembled it enough to check like voltages and stuff. So let's go ahead and get after it. So let's see here. Do we have 12 volts from the power supply? We do not. Now we got nothing. 216 millivolts. That won't do. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's get this out. And then I'll real quick check the board for shorts and make sure that all the fuses are good and stuff. And then we'll check the power supply. Get this disassembled the rest of the way, get the board out, let's get it unplugged. I might just, if it's the power supply, I might just swap the power supply and then we'll test the old one. We'll take the old one apart and see if maybe the fuse is blown in it or something. And if that's the case, then I guess we'll go ahead and fix that too. There we go. Don't see any burn marks or anything, so set the board to the side here. Let's get the liquid metal sucked up. I just kind of hang this over the bench and kind of give it a tilt and kind of scrape all the, as much as I can, of the liquid metal to one corner. That way I can suck it up. Alright. Tuck the antennas away. We'll come back to that in 1 second. I just want to check all the fuses on here and make sure that the fuses are all good. So, continuity, otherwise known as beep beep mode. Alright, so let's start in this corner. Fuse. Okay. That's not a fuse. Fuse. Good. Fuse. Okay, that one's good. Fuse. Where are you at? Fuse. That one's good. Fuse, fuse, fuse. Good. 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 That one's good. Check that one, check that one. Alright, let's flip the board. That one's good. Alright, okay. So let's maybe check for some shorts first before we go putting in a new power supply. Good. Good. Alright. That's weird. That's weird. Why did it do that? I wonder if it's got a 12-volt short. That's weird. Why would it do that? Let's check these guys. No short there. No short there. Okay, well, that's weird. Alright, so let's suck up the rest of the liquid metal on here, on the die. And then we'll get the heat sink out and we'll put in a new power supply and give it a shot, see what it does. Could be just lightning took out the power supply. HDMI port looks alright. Okay, so let's bring this back up. Get our antennas out of the way. And I'll replace that with some new tape. Now when you take the back of these two back screws out, make sure that those screws are the ones that go back in. Because if not, this one that I'm taking out now, if you put a longer screw in than what this is, you're going to damage your HDMI encoder. So just be aware of that, that the same screws that you took out of there are the ones that go back in. Why am I, what's holding me up? There we go. Alright. Now for you, Mr. Power Supply. Keep you out. And we'll remove our antenna from it, so we can reuse it. There we go. Set the antenna to the side. I'm going to go ahead and blow the dust out of this real fast. that there, and I'm gonna blow the dust off the heatsink. As you know, might as well clean it all up while we're in here. So I want to double check this. We're going to plug it in. We're going to see if we get anything out of it. Nothing. Nothing. Nada. Not a ting. Alright, so this is a ADP 400ER. What's that say? 400ER. This is a 400DR. Doesn't seem to be too much of a difference between a DR and an ER. So let's set this one to the side. And we'll check and see if we got 400 volt, or not 400 volts, 12 volts. We'll just double check and make sure this one's good. Wait a minute, what's going on here? There we go, 12 volts. 12 volts. Now, since I had my meter not on DC voltage, let's check this again. Check the old one just again, because I had my meter set to AC instead of DC, so we'll check it again. Just to make sure. Yep, 1.1 volts. That's all I'm getting out of it. So something is definitely wonky, and we'll check that out here in a second. But for right now, we're going to put the new power supply in and get this fixed for the customer. Oh, antennas. Antennas. I wonder if that's the difference. Hopefully the antennas will go where they're supposed to go. Tilt it into that slot, maybe. There we go. Antennas are on. Get the ribbons out of the way. Alrighty, there we go. Power supply dropped in. Let's get the heatsink back in. Put the screws back in. Okay, so let's clean up with this liquid metal. We'll reapply the liquid metal. There we go. Now when you use alcohol on liquid metal, it kind of congeals it into a little ball, which you can actually then pick up with your tweezers and remove it. So I'm going to try to get some of this, as much of this white oxidation as I can off of here. It's like white rust. And we'll bring our fiberglass pen in. And we'll clean this up, get all the oxidation off, and then it puts little tiny scratches in this, which will help the liquid metal bond and hold better. Because creating scratches on a heatsink surface actually increases the surface area. Not by much, but it does increase the surface area. Because those because now the liquid metal can get into those little scratches and hold on. It can bond to those little scratches and hold on, so you don't get a big pool. Like if they have this console vertical, you won't have like a big pool of liquid metal sitting there. Some of it will still be clinging to the top because of those scratches. And therefore we get better heat transfer and less chance of it overheating. At least that's what I've noticed in my experience. I haven't had one come back for overheating that I've done this to, so whatever I'm doing is working. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is replace these thermal pads here. So I'm going to save those. Some nice round ones. I'll just set them up here for now. Okay, so bring our board in. And I'm going to clean up the liquid metal on it too. I'm just getting enough IPA in that so it'll stay together when I pick it up. There we go. Just want to clean this up. See any white? You can use the a fiberglass pen on this too. It's not going to scratch it, but it'll help you get off any of that white rust that tends to build up. At least that's what it looks like to me, is white rust. some form of oxidation. So now on that bad power supply, I'm not thinking that it's just a fuse, because if it was just a fuse I wouldn't get anything at all, but I'm getting like just a little bit of voltage. So something else has gone goofy in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and replace some thermal pads. Replace this stuff with this putty with some thermal pads. And we'll reapply the liquid metal and we'll give it a try. Now I've seen some guys say that these aren't good enough, but I haven't had a single one come back for overheating. And I've started to just do the bottom part, do the bottom bit with the new thermal pads. Alright, so we're going to reapply liquid metal. A little drop on there. A little drop on there. And we'll take a Q-tip. And we will get that little drop worked around and get it bonded to the heatsink. Okay, so now we'll move over to the APU. Get that bonded. Alright, cool. And what I'll do is I'll take some new liquid metal, put a drop on it and a drop on there, and that should be plenty. That way it gets a little bit of new thermal or liquid metal in with the old. Maybe refresh it a little bit. I don't know. But we'll go with it. All right, what's going on? There we go. Snapped in place. So we'll put the heatsink clamp back on it, and give this guy a test. I'm going to plug it in and check for standby voltages first before I try to turn it on. Okay. All right. Let's plug it in and check for standbys. Okay. 12 volt. Oops. $5 volt. 3.3. 3.3. Got our 5 volt over here. 5 volt. 5 volts. 12 volts. Oops. And 0.8. And where's my... Oh well, I think we're good. We'll try it. We got everything. I don't remember where 1.1 is, so. Okay, so let's see if we can get the capture card to work. I'm going to clean both ends of this short one. I may have to get a new short one. HDMI cable, a little short HDMI cable. Alrighty, let's turn the TV on, let's see what happens. Uh-oh. Nothing. Not turning on. Still got 12 volts. Alrighty, so let's hook it up to the UART and see what it says. Let's go ahead and pull that up real quick. No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Okay, so here's the UART. PlayStation 5. Let's check the quick start reference. That looks like it right there. EMD 20. Yeah, EMD 10, EMD 20. That's, we got an EMD 20. EDM 20, excuse me. So, okay, so let's hook up the UART reader. I'm just adding a bit of leaded solder to these test points. Okay. Alright, so we got ground. And TX goes to RX on the tester. Okay, and then RX goes to TX. Okay, so we got TX, we got RX, TX, and ground. So, gotta find my cable. Okay, found the cable. Wrong cable. Ah, here's the right one. Now that's concerning because there's no light. Oh, there's the light. Okay. So now we're hooked up. Let's go the screen. Close this. Should be okay. Comms port 5. Read error codes. Run. Whoa! Look at all that. APU not responding. AC detect unexpected power loss. General power failure. APU data line. APU data. Oh boy. Power sequence failure. HDMI IC problem or data line short or power failure. Wow. Okay, let's do this. Let's clear the error codes because that's a lot. Hit run. Okay, error codes clean. Clear. Alright, let's try it. Still nothing. Okay. Okay, so let's run the error codes again and see what it gives me. HDMI IC problem or data line short. Okay, so we got something going on here. Possibly got something going on here. So, alrighty. So I'm gonna investigate around that because this did get hit by lightning, so the HDMI encoder may be bad. Let's unhook. Let's take the UART reader off. And we'll go ahead and get the board out again. First off, let's check for some shorts on this side of the board. That is short. Yep, those are all short there. Well, this one's short. These caps are short. Well, maybe not. That one's definitely short. And this one is definitely short. Okay. Alright, let's get the board out. We'll check the other side. Trying to suck up the liquid metal here. There we go. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the pins. I'm going to check the diode readings on the pins on the HDMI port, and that'll tell me if I have a problem with my encoder. Go into diode mode. There's a red probe on ground. 6.64, 0.55, that's ground. 6.1, 0.61, no connect. That should be reading something. That is short. .829, .829, ground, .829, .829, .829, .828, ground, .828. So, okay, so the data line diode readings seem to be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check around here and see if any of these caps and stuff are short. Okay, ground. So we have a short there. So it's either okay, well let's get the thermal camera out and we'll inject voltage and we'll see what we get from there. Alright, bear with me. We'll get this set up here. Alright. Okay, there we go. Now we got our thermal camera going. See? Okay. So let's get our ground for power supply, our bench power supply. Get that hooked up. Actually, I want to do it. I want to see the other side because I'm thinking it's maybe one of these on the other side. So hook that up on ground. And we got 1 volt. As soon as I find my lead. Okay. Just want to double check which one's short here. Okay, that's definitely short. So all right, so we got 1 volt. Well, let's put the pinpointing lens on here. Maybe something on the other side. So we'll flip it on the other side. It seems like something was getting hot from the other side. So let me double check, find which. I know there was a cap on here that was short. Or maybe there was. Yeah, that guy is short. So that guy, let me find a pair of tweezers. Alright, so this guy here is short. So I'm going to inject voltage right here and see what gets warm. Okay, are we ready? Oh, yeah, that's the encoder. That is definitely the encoder getting hot. Alrighty. Bad HDMI encoder. Alright, let me shut thermal can off. So there we go, found our problem. So now we got to remove and replace the HDMI encoder, because that one was getting hot. So we'll remove it and then we'll check for shorts, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully I have a working Panasonic MN864739 HDMI encoder. Let's get a better view on here. Shed a little more light on the situation. Alright, so I injected voltage here on this shorted line, and this got hot. This was what was getting hot. This is the HDMI encoder. So we'll remove the HDMI encoder, and then we'll see if the short is gone. Hopefully it will be. So I got my hot air station at 470 degrees Celsius and 75 degrees or 75% airflow. Let's take a drink of coffee. Alright, let me see. Get my big tweezers in here. Okay. We're going to come in with the hot air. These sometimes take quite a long time to come up. Yeah, sometimes these take a while to get heated up and come off of here, so we'll just keep moving the air around, heating everything up. You know, just keep nudging it every now and again to see if it's loose. There we go. Alrighty, so now we are going to check, see if that short went away. We'll wait for my hot air station to quit yelling. And that gives that an opportunity to cool down. So alright. So now we'll check to see if the short is gone. Alright. Nope. No more short. What about the other side? This guy was short here. Alright, well, there's the short is gone. So let's put some flux on here and we'll get this prepped for the new chip. I'm going to mix some leaded solder in with the pads. Alrighty. So they look a little dull. Alright, that should be good. Alright. Let's clean this up, see if we got a donor. If not, I'll see if I got a new one. And hopefully the new one's a good one. And not a fake one, because I've gotten those before. Alright, go ahead and go back to the above cam for right now. Let's find, see if we got a donor board that has one of those on there. That one. Oh, PS5 donor board. PS5 donor boards. Nope. Not there. Piddle. Looks like we're gonna try a new one. Looks like I do have one from a donor in here. Where'd it go? I just saw it. I literally just saw it in there. Oh, there it is. Alrighty, so we'll try that one. Let's clean it up a little bit. That's just old flux on it. Okay. So let's get some flux on here. Get our chip ready right next to it. Okay, so let's heat this area up. I'm looking for that center blob to just kind of solidify and spread out. Or not solidify, but melt. There it goes. Okay, let that sit there for a second. We'll put a little more flux on here. And then we'll press down and come back in with our hot air. Just holding, letting it cool. Placement might be a little off, but we'll see. The alignment, check the alignment, clean up some of this flux around here. Alright, let's zoom in with the microscope. And it appears to be a little bit off. And that's good there. How does that look? Yeah, those are off. Shoot. Okay, we gotta try again. Gotta reposition it. Gotta move it to the left some. So flux really sucks. I hope I try to get them on there the first time, but sometimes it just doesn't go. I don't like reheating it, but it's not seated right. And this cap up here is trying to go some places. See if I can get him to go back where he's supposed to. And I'll worry about him in a second. Oh, did you see surface tension pull it in? Alright. Let that cool. Cool. Okay. I'm hoping this encoder's good. We'll find out in a minute though. Up here, and then put some more flux. Flux there, flux there. And we'll go around the edges. Just making sure that everything is okay. All right. Clean that flux up. Okay, so let's really get some Kim wipes, some Kim Tech Kim. What do they call these? Kim, yeah, they're Kim wipes. And get the flux cleaned up. And then we'll check for shorts and we'll check for diode readings. The placement should be good now. And we'll double check that. real fast. Okay, so let's zoom in. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks real good. Oh yeah, that's nice. What we got going on over here? What is that? Okay, that's nothing. It's nothing. Alright, we'll get that ready. Let's go to the above cam real quick, and then we'll check for some shorts. Okay, that is no longer short. Alright, so let's check the... Let's do diode readings on the HDMI port pins. 6.69, 0.54, no connect or ground, 0.677, 0.67, yeah, no connect, 0.6. Oh, we didn't have this one before. There was nothing there before, so we got 0.68 now. 8.1 or 0.81 ground, 0.81, 0.81 ground, 0.81, hold on, 0.81 ground, 0.81, 0.81 ground, and 0.81. Okay, so that all looks good. So I think we're ready to test it. Okay, but one more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to double check these ones on the back. These caps that were short on the back, we're going to check those real fast. Oh, I'm still in diode mode. There we go. Now we should get something. Okay, all shorts are gone. So now we'll re-put the liquid metal back on. Spread it around. suck a little bit more back because I put a lot on the die. Get the heatsink clamp back on. Get the ribbons plugged back in. Alright, let's grab the fan. Alright. Power. HDMI. Alright. Hey, look at that. Let's see if it shows up on the TV. I did say I have an issue with my capture card. Okay, I got you. And we still got... Okay, we're going through a blue light right now. It's flashing blue. There's a white light. And it says... Still got nothing, so let's do this. Unplug the capture card. Need to figure out what's going on with that. And plug it directly into the TV. Hey, there we go. We got a signal. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Everything seems to be working. We got a picture. Let's and my capture card is not working. So let's turn this guy. You can see, boom, working picture. Hello. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fix my camera. Oh boy. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it back together and we'll run some more tests, but that'll be it for now. So the problem was bad power supply and bad HDMI encoder. So have a good night and we'll see you guys on the next one.